Okay, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phones and Drones. After what felt like forever, we finally have it here, the spring update from Tesla that has quite a few nice quality of life improvement updates and some very useful security ones as well. Let's go ahead and go through all of these and talk about them really quick, as well as jump through and show you where to find them in the system. First things first, this is one of the many branches since the original 2025.14 was released. This official build that we got, that the majority of the fleet is actually getting, is going to be on 2025.14.3.1. So that's why you see the minor fixes listed here first. But going into the main branch here, one of the big updates here is for trip planning and alternate plans. So this now will allow you to have a couple of new options for the fastest route available, the one with the best amenities that'll prioritize stops near open and highly rated restaurants, shops, and restrooms, and one for fewer stops, which minimizes charging stops. We'll go back to that in a minute and show you an example. But also in navigation, we have an update to avoid highways. This is something you can trigger to go on or off if you want, but now navigation can avoid highways when possible, providing alternate routes that bypass major roads. Then you do have a dash cam update and side camera recording. I think this is probably one of the best updates that's dropping in this new update. This now finally lets you use B-pillar cameras for recording for both dashcam and Sentry clips. This gives a much higher and better angle for people that might be up to no good around your Tesla vehicle. Super awesome, definitely much better to see. And they updated the grid view, making it easier to access and review recordings as well in the viewer in the car. Another one I know a lot of people are going to like, that is that now you can save your trunk height based on location. And depending on where you're at, you can actually have it set to open higher or lower than its standard setting, thanks to geolocation. I personally don't have a real big use for this. I know a lot of people do like adjusting the height. Here is another option that Tesla is providing if you so want to use it. Next up is another big one, and this is adaptive headlights for eligible vehicles. High beams now adapt to reduce glare for other drivers and cyclists by detecting other road users and selectively dimming individual pixels of the headlight. Your high beams stay on more often for greater visibility at night. That's a huge one. That's where I want to start at. Let's jump into the controls, lights, and adaptive headlights to turn that on if it's not on by default after this install. So control, lights, adaptive headlights, it is off by default. We're going to turn that on. I think that is going to be another nice quality of life improvement right here. Jumping into the software version itself, obviously, like we said, we're on 2025.14.3.1. You can see the whole build number. We're not going to go into all those details there, but you can pause the video if you care about that. And then after adaptive headlights, we have keyboard languages. Not a big one, but again, a nice little quality improvement if you so choose. And another one I know I personally do like, you can now once again keep accessory power on if your device is off. This was available a long time ago. Tesla took it away. But now, when enabled, the ports will remain powered even if you're not present and the vehicle is not in use. Obviously, it'll improve or increase, I should say, vehicle power consumption, even if no device is connected. However, the only alternate way of doing this, once they took it away initially, was to put it in camp mode. More of a hassle. Now you can actually go under controls, charging, keep accessories powered on, and you can keep your phones charging while you run it and make a quick stop or whatever else you might have plugged in. So again, controls, charging, and you can see it right at the bottom, keep accessory power on. That's definitely huge. I'm a big fan. The drainage from keeping this on and the battery usage is probably minimal. I'm not even worried about that. So I definitely want to keep that on for my own personal preferences. Beyond that, those are the main ones, but don't be confused. Under minor updates, there are some other good ones as well. While viewing a charger location page, nearby restaurants, cafes, and shops within walking distance are now displayed at the bottom. Media search results are now filtered by sources, providing faster and more streamlined access to content. You can easily scroll through your SiriusXM favorites, sign in with your Amazon Music free account. This is a big one for me that I like because I do use Apple Music. You can now shuffle an entire Apple Music playlist that contains more than 100 songs. Prior, it would shuffle like maybe 30 of them or something like that. Now you're getting a whole playlist shuffle. That's awesome. If you are a YouTube Music playlist user, you can now see what songs are coming up next. And another one, in your navigation settings, you can choose to show or hide chargers on the map that are not owned or serviced by Tesla. Another useful one, if you use your phone as a hotspot or have a portable hotspot itself, you can now have it where it will be enabled and automatically connect to your vehicle once you start driving, so you don't have to connect and reconnect each time. Contact photos are now displayed for incoming calls in the vehicle's phone app, and then important security fixes and improvements as always. Now, let's go ahead and show you this navigation piece. So as you can see here, we just put in Atlanta, Georgia as an example, and you can see your new options along the top right here that says fastest, and that's what it defaults to, with a 5 hour and 36-minute trip time, best amenities, which gives you a 5 hour and 46-minute trip time, and then fewer stops, which is 5 hours and 50 minutes. So the difference being the fastest 550 from 536 with fewer stops. Not too bad, but again, it is nice to see the different options right here. And even more so, that came out from a prior update, you can now also set your arrival energy to make sure you have at least, say, 20% when you get to your destination, and it'll recalculate the whole thing to make sure you have your necessary charge that you prefer upon getting to your location. Pretty sweet and definitely good to see. So, back in release notes, those were the main ones that we talked about. All of these other changes here as well, you can look at and see the new viewer if you want as well. And obviously, as you can see here, this is the new viewer for the dash cam, and it does look a lot more cleaner. You can click jump to event, it takes you right there. You can see the grid view easily, front, back, left, and right cameras, all easily accessible. I really do like this new viewer. What do you guys think about this update for summer 2025? Did Tesla knock it out of the park? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.